I've been doing mastermind groups, speaking, and coaching for about 9 years. And one of the things that I really see in business people or business-minded people, or people that are wanting to get into business or whatever, is they're really stuck in a place where the creativity and the imagination is really hard for them to really grab a hold of, because you develop a routine. Yes? We live our lives out of habit. So some of this stuff, some of you have already seen it before, but when you see it again, it's going to register. You're going to see something new because you're at a different level. Okay? So, like Terry said, my tagline is imagination determines destination. Your imagination really does point you in the direction, and you end up in the destination that you are in because of your imagination. Okay? So we're just going to have some fun here. See if I can get this thing working. Yep. Here. What do you think that means? What imagination, huh?
It won't stop raining.
It won't stop. That's what yours is? Okay, yours is won't stop ringing. What else? Who else gets something out of this?
I'm amazed by the great deal I just got.
Oh, all right. That's a good way to look at it. Who looks at it in a negative respect?
Frustration.
Frustration, okay. Maybe afraid to the rejection. Maybe he's heard no so many times, whatever. So you can take and get into the imagination of, wow, what a great deal I got, or the fear of rejection, whatever it is. So it says here, we act or fail to act not because of will, right, as is so commonly believed, but because of imagination. Now this is going to be a little different than most people have heard. That's just the way I deal. I challenge your belief systems, because when you develop a habit, it becomes a belief. It becomes truth, and then it becomes a belief, and our lives are really governed and moved because of our beliefs, our principles, if you will. Okay? So look at these images. Isn't it amazing how your mind instantly goes to all these different things? But really, those are two people, and that's a dog laying there. What do you see here? Anybody?
Witch.
A witch, okay.
Young girl.
Who sees a pretty girl? Who sees the witch or the ugly lady?
Both.
Oh, you see both? Does anybody see both? Or
See both.
everybody sees both? Does somebody just see the witch or the lady, and they can't see either the other one? Anybody?
I can't see the young lady.
You can't see the young lady.
Her head
I
is
can't
turned.
You're looking at the back of her head,
Yeah.
more or less.
Oh,
You see it?
now I see it.
Da, 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 yeah. So, and there's some people that can't get it, and other people will try to come up here and explain it, right? And there's some people that just cannot get it. So these are just fun little images. Look at what this one was. Remember that guy? Over here? Looks like a... See the two men riding the horses? How about that one? Isn't that interesting? Here's a boy, the sheep, the houses. But if you look back here, looks like a guy's face, doesn't it? So your imagination really can run wild. It can absolutely just go crazy with different pictures. How about that one?
Chalice and
You see the two people? The lady over there in the doorway?
two. The
Yeah.
guy playing the guitar and the lady.
Think about these images as I begin to throw them out at you, okay? Because your mind will trigger, and you'll have a different response for each one. Janet is the one that's probably in the back going, oh, because it's a little baby in jail. You want to talk about determination? Remember Karen Carpenter? Some people remember her. Her image, all she could see was somebody that was skinny. And how do you relate to somebody like that? That what she went through and how she would look in the mirror, by the time that she was about ready on death's door, she was nothing but skin and bones. But yet she still saw a fat person. That one got me. You cannot depend on your eyes if your imagination is out of focus. Mark Twain. So how does your imagination get out of focus? Anybody?
You get distracted.
How do you get distracted?
Depends on the individual, your daily activities, your lifestyle,
Things happen in
things
life.
happening.
Things happen in life. All of a sudden we're going through and banking, this, routines, schedules. So we forget about our imagination. We forget about the creativity part of us. Right? So you can't depend on your eyes if your imagination is out of focus. What eyes do you think he's talking about there? Because we got these eyes, right? What eyes do you think Mark Twain's talking about? What other eyes is there?
Your soul.
What?
Eyes of your soul.
Eyes of your soul, the spiritual essence of who you are. Because we see this flesh and blood and we think that is solid. Right? But it's not solid. If you look under a microscope, it's molecules. You look under a more powerful microscope, it's a dance of energy. But yet, it's solid. That's solid. This is solid. It's just slow down energy, isn't it? Do you know that everything is a vibration? That's why when your body dies, it's still moving. It's an ocean of motion. Why is it still moving? Otherwise it wouldn't turn to dust. Yeah? Isn't that cool? Think of the imagination that came up with that. That is a solid, you can walk right across this thing. How about that one?
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool? This is the sidewalk that he's on. It's right there. Andrew Carnegie said, any idea that is held in the mind, any idea that is held in the mind, that is emphasized, that is either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. What is he talking about? What do you think he's saying there? If you take an idea and you hold it, this idea, whether it's feared or revered, what's he saying? Can somebody explain that to me?
It starts to conform.
What starts to conform?
The idea.
The idea starts to, where does it conform?
In your mind.
In your mind.
Whatever you see.
Whatever you see, where does it manifest?
People. Opportunities.
Opportunities out here.
Events.
Yeah. So could it be like, I want to start a business, or I want to grow a business, or I want to get bigger, or I want to move down this road, but it's uncomfortable, so you hold an image maybe of failing,
Of fear.
of fear. Because most people can deal with fear of rejection, right? I mean, everybody has dealt with that. Some people take it to the extreme, right? We think in pictures, yes? Would you agree with that? Yeah? I mean, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. I don't care. But Bonna always agrees with me. So, think about the picture of your garage, your refrigerator, your car, your interior, your backyard. That screen leaves and another one pops up. What about, get an image of my car. You have an image? You don't have an image. You have nothing to work with. You have no cells of recognition. We're going to build cells of recognition today. Think about that one. That's a little far out, isn't it? So how about you get an image of your mind? What comes up? What comes up?
Blank.
Blank, that's pretty typical. I get a lot of blank and I get a lot of brains, right? But your brain is no more your mind than your fingernail is. Mind is activity. The brain is the chemical switching station to that activity. The body is the manifestation of that activity. That's why when you begin to build ruts in your mind, habits, if you will, that turn into truths, that turn into beliefs, that at one time they believed that the world is flat. They believed that a man couldn't run under a 4-minute mile. They believed that the sound barrier could not be broken. They also believed that if a car would go a certain speed, that your skeletal structure couldn't take it. The pressure. So let's look at something. Let's develop an image of the mind, okay? We'll look at this. We're going to use this magical graphic. We're going to let this represent the mind. Now you have this on your sheet. I would encourage you highly, if you want to take anything away from this, I know you're eating and everything else and it looks good. I'm going to have mine later. But very important because you're here, I believe, for a reason. I believe you're here because you want to move to another level. You want to get better at what you do. You want to break out of the conformity, if you will. So, there's a picture that you have of this mind. We're going to let the top half represent the mind. And we're going to let the bottom. Why is this so much smaller than this here? It's because most of our lives we've focused on the physical. But we're going to deal with the spiritual essence of who, the true person of who you are. Okay? So let's get into this. The top half is called the conscious mind. This is where you have the ability to think. You can reject, neglect, or accept a thought. In other words, I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. You believe that? Can I upset you? Can I make you mad? But yet we say when somebody's, right, and they get, oh, you made me so mad. I was late for the appointment. You know why I was late for the appointment? Because this idiot wouldn't get out of the way. He made me so mad. They can't make you mad. They don't even know what's going on. We make ourselves mad. We give away our power. So if you think about this part of your mind, you can accept, reject, or neglect a thought. Here, let me do a crude illustration. What we're going to do, and the waitress here, she's new today. What's your name?
Morgan.
Morgan, you're new today. You're going to participate in this, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, hear what she said? She just agreed. We're all going to take off our clothes, and we're going to run out in the airport, down the runway, with our hands in the air, singing hallelujah. Are you in, Morgan?
I don't know if I get fired for that.
So she has the ability to reject that.
Don't you know there's no running on the
No,
runway?
no running on the runway. Okay. No, that's all. Thank you.
You can walk.
Good sport. But see how you rejected that thought instantly when I brought it up? Now, I always have one clown in the room saying, hey, I'll do it, I'm in. So, this is the subconscious part of your mind, the bottom half. That's the emotions. So, the thinking mind is where we come up with ideas. Right? The subconscious part of your mind is the emotional part of your mind. So see up at the top half, the thinking mind, that's why people, they just wish. This is where you wish. Nothing really happens up there. Until you get emotionally involved in an idea. Think about that. Very, very, very powerful to understand. Okay? This was an idea that I had in my mind for years. This was an idea. Nothing happened with this idea until I got emotionally involved in that idea. And something begins to transpire and it begins to move. Think about the car that you go to buy and you go to the car lot or whatever, and you start thinking about what you want in a car. And then pretty soon the guy has you sitting in there smelling the car, the new fragrance. I mean, you're turning on the radio, the air conditioning, you're looking at the color. He says, you want to take it for a test drive? Oh, now you're behind the wall. Man, this thing, man, this really goes. The next thing you know, you're getting emotionally involved in it. And before you know it, that becomes your car and you're driving it. Where did it come from? From a thought, an idea. This was an idea. How many people in here want to write a book that haven't written a book yet? 1, 2, 3. Okay. How long, Janet, has it been since you wanted to write a book?
Sort of solidified 2 years ago.
2 years ago. How are you doing with it?
I have notes, but I haven't moved past that.
Okay. What do you think is holding you back?
My schedule, my kids,
Schedule, kids, what else?
job.
Job, what else?
Me? I mean, I could make it happen.
Well, now, what was the truth there? Which one was the truth? Me was the truth. What were the other ones?
Excuses.
Excuses. Yes? No, maybe? Because she has the time, doesn't she? She can make the time if she would get emotionally involved in it. Begin to put a cover to it and put it around a book and sit it in front of you every day where you see it. And begin to believe and think and know that you're an author. Think and visualize signing a book. And something magical begins to happen. Okay? So let's get through this. So you choose your own thoughts. Your thoughts cause your feelings. Your feelings are expressed in actions, right? And your actions produce what we call results. Isn't this what we want to change? Isn't this what we're here for? Is we want to get better results? You want to get better results, don't you, Bruce, in your business?
Sure.
Yeah? Billy? You want to get better results? So if you think about it, your thoughts, your feelings, this moves you into a vibration, right? That moves your body into action. And it's the action that produces the results. Where's the cause and where's the effect in this model? You understand what the cause and the effect, like little Billy is over at my house, we're 5 years old, right? And little Billy says, Dean, now I'm over at Grandma's house, and he says, pick up a rock and throw it through that window. Let's see what it sounds like. I bet it sounds really, we're 5 years old, right? Our imagination is taken out. It's not a rock, it's a rocket. We're going, and it's going to go flying through this deal, right? So Billy convinces me to grab the rock that's a rocket and throw it through the window, and I go, okay, and as soon as I let go, I go, uh-oh. Oh no, and I hear the crash, and guess what? Where's the cause and where's the effect in that model?
One was the board against her butt.
All right, okay. Where's the cause in little Billy and Dean throwing the rock through the window? Where's the cause?
The emotion part of it.
The what?
The emotion, getting your emotions
Me getting my emotions involved in it?
big and worked up,
Okay.
and the
Eva?
cause was
That was the
vocabulary.
cause.
It was
You didn't see the downside.
I can see the
You
downside?
didn't see the downside.
Oh, I didn't see the downside? All right.
All you could see was the crash and the excitement of that, and you really got into that.
Into
versus
it.
not seeing any real downside of, well, if I break this window, we'll be in trouble.
Okay. So what do you think the effect was?
I was just gonna say that the cause is you chose to act.
Wasn't it Billy? Billy was the one that told me to do it, not you, Billy. Right?
you made
Wasn't-
the decision though.
I made the decision, but if I get busted, right, guess who I'm going to blame? Billy? You know what people say in business? It's the economy. It's not the economy. We didn't plan for this. That's for me. Okay. So, what happens? Let's take a look at this a little differently. Let me get the signal. What happened? I run out of batteries, you think?
It might be.
So, how can you get better results? What do you guys think about, one, what's the results that you guys want? What, you came here for a reason. What was it? What was it that, what do you want to leave here with? What do you want to see happen in your life or your business? One thing, anybody.
I want my mind to open.
You want your mind to open, okay? How are you going to, why would you want to get your mind to open?
I just need to learn how to manage better.
You need to learn how to manage better.
Manage better and then see potential when it's in front of me.
Okay? How are you going to do that?
That's why I'm here.
How would, let me ask you this. Don't tell me what I think I want to hear, okay? But tell me what pops into your head, the first thing that pops into your head. How are you going to do that? What do you think you might want to do? How to do that?
First thing that pops in my head is a plan.
A plan?
Come up with a plan.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Any ideas? What do you want? What's the specific thing you want? I'm going to pick on you because you're late. What is it? What is one thing that you want in life? Why are you here?
To better myself.
To better yourself? How are you going to better yourself?
Just sit down.
Okay.
I have my elevator speech ready.
Ah, your elevator speech ready, right? The program that's there. We're here to disrupt that program. Okay, let's look at it. How am I doing with time? You know?
You're still good.
I'm still good?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, yeah, it's 11:36. Okay. I want to knock you off your track. Okay? For me to write this book, I was so programmed. I had such deep ruts, if you will, in my mind, that the synapses, the connectors, I was a loser. I learned different than all the other kids. I couldn't read because I was labeled as having a reading and learning disability in grade school. The authority figure went stamp. I got emotionally involved in that when I went to the playground. What did the kids do? Right? I got emotionally involved in this idea that I learned different from the other kids. When I finally went to go write this book, it was one of the most painful processes I've ever done. Why? Because of the program I thought was dead. Because now I taught myself how to read at the age of 24 through comic books. And I thought that that program was dead. The moment I started to step outside of the box and start to move forward in this whole new thing that I've never done before, who's going to read your book? Don't you remember you're stupid? You don't know how to read or write. What are you doing, you idiot? Well, that's right. Oh, you're absolutely right. And we just jump right back on the bandwagon, don't we? Okay, so let's take a look at something. The conscious mind, subconscious mind, right? These are the 5 senses, right? We all know them. We can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. These are like hardwired, all right? They're hardwired in here. That's why when you get a fragrance, when you hear a song, doesn't it just take you, boom, just takes you right back to this place? Yeah? So we're going to kind of ignore those. Those are the lower natures. And we're going to look at the 6 intellectual faculties. Now I'm going to go through these kind of fast because of time. So we got perception. These are mental muscles. Think about this. We don't think about them because we don't know they're mental muscles. Will. This is not willpower. Put your hand up. What's your name?
Mandy.
Mandy. Yeah, I'm going to tease her for the rest of the time. So I'm going to push. She just pushed back, right? I'm not talking about willpower. I'm talking about the ability to focus, to concentrate, right? with your what? Imagination. So you get an idea of the life that you truly want and begin to visualize it, begin to act as if you already are an author, and you hold it with your will, with your imagination. Concentrate, focus. There's memory, there's intuition, there's reason. These are the 6 intellectual faculties that you can begin to develop. All right? You can exercise these. So let's take a look at something real quick. Tell me when I got 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is. Oop, oop, oop. Oh. I'm click happy here.
Right, take the clicker away.
Okay, so here's your conscious mind. This is the way you come on the scene as a baby. You have no reasoning factors whatsoever, right? You don't have any ability to reason until around 6 or 7. I mean, to think about, we got 8 grandkids, the 8th one's coming on the way. A little Stacia, when we first moved here, was 3, okay? If I kick the ball out in the road, what's she going to do?
Go get it.
She has no reasoning factor whatsoever about the cells of recognition, like if you run out in front of that car, you're going to get squished like a bug, right? So this is how we arrive on the scene. We're like an open cup. We're like this thing right here. I can pour anything into this cup. That's why you can take a baby out of a Japanese home and put that baby in a Texas home, and that baby will grow up and learn the English language with a Texas accent and have no recollection of the Japanese language whatsoever. Right? We're open cup. So this is what happens. Every thought, every imagination, every image, every idea is going right in that baby's thoughts in the mind. Guess what it's doing? It's forming the ideas, become fixed, habits, conditioned. Think about your environment. Think about growing up. It's where your self-image is formed. Let that sink in a little bit. It's where your self-image is formed. If you don't write anything down, write this down. You will never outperform your self-image until you learn how to change it. Ever. That's where we get into the mastermind group psycho-cybernetics. It's all about the self-image, the servo mechanism that Billy's talking about. And what she's learning about. How powerful it is. Because your self-image is fixed because of the environment that you grew up in. So, you will never outperform your self-image until you learn how to change it. And if you guys ever need to interrupt me when I'm saying something, interrupt me. Ask a question, get me off track, whatever you want to do. You go, you know what, I don't understand what you're talking about. We'll see me after. All right, this is paradigm. Paradigm controls everything. Finances, social life, work life, everything. What's a paradigm? AJ, it's not 20 cents either. My kids call that a dad joke. They don't laugh with me, they laugh at me. Paradigm. Huh?
And that's an old dad joke.
Yeah, that's an old dad joke, yeah. A paradigm is simply this, a bunch of habits strung together that form a paradigm, how we view things, how we see things, our perception. So, let's take a look at this. Here's you as a baby. There's your parents. There's your grandparents. There's your great-grandparents. Think about the environment that your great-grandparents were in when they had your grandparents, right? So, boom, they're their subconscious, their self-image, and they have little Johnny and Billy, which is your grandparents, or maybe Sally, I should say, or whoever. And their ideas, who they are, is imparted to your grandparents, right? Your grandparents grow up. They have your parents. Think about your grandparents' environment. Think about what they grew up with. Think about how they lived. My dad lived through World War II. He was a kid in the Depression. When my father passed away, he had 2 warehouses stuffed full of stuff. His house was stuffed full. His garage, double car garage, you could not barely get through it. It was packed to the ceiling. Why? Because their environment went through the Depression and they were going to hoard everything. Yeah? So then your parents grow up. Guess what? Little Johnny or little Sarah is born. And then you make statements like, guys, I'm just like my mom. Man, I'm just like my dad. There's molds that are in your life that some are good, but some don't serve you. There's belief systems that do not serve you. Take them and smash them. Question your beliefs. Question your principles. Question, why do I believe that? Here's your paradigm. Here's your thoughts. Here's your thoughts. Positive, negative. Positive thought. Negative paradigm. Guess what happens? Conflict. Negative thought with a negative conflict or paradigm. Guess what happens? Harmony. That's why you go back to do the same thing over and over again. Because out here is uncomfortable. The farther you get away from out here is more uncomfortable. Then the farther you get out here, people begin to say in your family, what are you doing? Don't you know, why don't you get a real job? What's the matter with you? You're going to fail at that, don't you know? And all of a sudden now it taps onto this little fellow who's been on your shoulder for a long time. His name is Sid. It's called self-induced doubt. And then he jumps on board and he says, what are you doing? You're stupid. You're crazy. It's where your free will lies. We could choose. But we tend to choose thoughts in harmony with our paradigm. Yeah? So, any questions? Hopefully I stirred up some things in your life a little bit. Thank you very much.